Well, we've drawn up our plans, we've got DMR approval, and we removed the old pilings. So now let's get started with construction. Here are the new pilings, all stacked up and ready to go. Looks like it won't be long before they start putting them in.
Casey, this piling is made from a pine tree. See, it's 10-inch diameter. That's a good piling. That is kind of rare that you have something with this many growth rings in it. You know, it's an old tree, and the wide ring means it's got plenty of sunlight.
Plenty of water too.
Yeah.
Piling is put in a pressure vessel. Treated material is forced in there by pulling a vacuum, and when they release the vacuum, you know, the material goes from the outside, it comes from the end, but you see how it's a little bit lighter right in here?
I do.
That means it didn't quite penetrate all the way in. Now, quality control, they'll bore a core, and then they could tell, you know, how far it's got in there, but it's 2.5 cca, and that is a measure of how much has gone into it. They get it in there by first they dry the piling, and then they put it in this vessel. This is a good looking piling. A carpenter, you know, would like to get wood like that, because these grains, you cut a board out of that, it'll have a real pretty pattern.
Mm-hmm. Quality control will drill in there, and it has to be it has to penetrate a certain depth in order for them to accept it. And if it stops penetrating, then they got to stop production to see what's going on.
And sometimes you see those pilings that they put a plug back in it. But pilings that break are usually break where limbs come out. And that means they have a knot in it. And if there's more than one in a certain spot, and you push on that piling trying to get in position, that's where they're going to break, is at the knots. What you got to say about that, Tim?
I don't know. I was coming to watch your dendrochronology lesson here.
Well, we hadn't counted this, but for a 10-inch tree,
Oh, that joker's got some age
yeah,
on
I'm
it.
gonna count them. Oh, what they say is you got a dark ring and then a light-colored ring. The light-colored ring is the
Spring and summer.
The summer,
growing
that's
season.
the grow. That's when it's growing. And when the sap comes down in the wintertime, it forms the dark ring. Say 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. 47 years. 47 years. That's an old tree.
That is.
One time I cut down a tree in the neighborhood for my brother, and there was a obvious change. It was tight rings, and then right in here they had a big wide ring. And I asked one of the neighbors that was around watching and said, "What happened here 10 years ago?" He said, "Oh, that's when they developed this neighborhood. That they come in and they cut trees that they were going to cut, built houses, and so what it did to this tree, it says, man, you get a lot more light."
There you go.
So it started growing.
Yeah. So this one had a lot more light, didn't it?
Right.